you know, if you look even under the hood, it's aesthetically pleasing. Alright, so in today's video, we're going to actually head over to a nice little location. I haven't, you know, since we got the truck, I've kind of been focusing on Subaru and, you know, and SDI and Subaru WRX content. But today we're going to focus solely on the Camaro. And I'm going to actually discuss why I believe the Camaro SS 1LE and the Camaro ZL1 1LE should be considered supercars. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but bear with me. I think you guys you'll be able to kind of, you know, understand what I'm saying by the end of this video. So tune in. Hope you enjoy this one.
What?
Yo, and I'm here trying to record this Corolla. Hold on. Yo.
I was like, yo.
It looks nice, dog. Yo. Yo.
Hey, brother.
I'm watching you the whole time. I was like, let me grab my GoPro. I'm gonna ask a question that's gonna sound kind of crazy at first, but hear me out, because the more I go into this, the more you guys are gonna start to agree with me, right? All right, so we had to switch up locations because it was super windy at the last location, but I'm gonna jump straight into this, right? I'm gonna tell you why I think that these Camaro SS 1LEs and the ZL1s and the ZL1 1LEs should be considered supercars, or at the very least budget supercars or sports cars that could be considered supercars in the same breath as Porsches, like Porsche 911s and such. So I'm going to give you a list of a bunch of supercars from the past, right, that all had manual gearboxes offered with them, and kind of go over some of the specs with them, right? So I printed out a little list here, and we're going to go over it. So number one, we have the 2014 Lamborghini Gallardo. It had roughly 550 horsepower and 398 foot-pounds of torque, right? So the Camaro SS 1LE that I have has 455 pounds-feet of torque and 455 horsepower. So just to compare it, right? Then you get to 2009, not that long ago, like 2014, 2009, all of these are not that long ago, right? The 2009 Ferrari F430 had 483 horsepower, right, and 343 foot-pounds of torque. So we have more torque than that Ferrari and close to the same horsepower. Then you go to the 2015 Audi R8 V10, had 525 horsepower and 391 foot-pounds of torque. Now, all those cars that I mentioned already, the Lamborghini Gallardo, the Ferrari F430, and the Audi R8 V10. The Camaro ZL1 already beats out all of them horsepower and torque-wise. So it beats out all of these already. So the Camaro is already like beating out these supercars, right? Then you go to the 2006 Porsche Carrera GT. Now, all of these, all manual gearbox cars, it had 612 horsepower, 435 foot-pounds of torque, and so the ZL1 beats that out. Then you have like a hypercar that costs millions of dollars now, the 1998 McLaren F1, 618 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque. ZL1 beats that. Then you get the 2012 Ferrari F99 GTB, 620 horsepower, 448 foot-pounds of torque. So ZL1 beats that as well. Then you go 2010 Lamborghini Murcielago, 632 horsepower, 487 foot-pounds of torque. ZL1 beats out that. Then you get a 2012 Porsche 911, the 997.2 turbo, 530 horsepower, 516 foot-pounds of torque. ZL1 beats out that. And lastly, we have a 2012 Ferrari California at 460 horsepower, 357 foot-pounds of torque. Now, all of these were considered supercars, right? All of these were considered supercars. So let me just toss this in here now that we went through that list. Yeah, so they were all considered supercars. And I would argue that the Camaro, like my simple Camaro SS 1LE, is actually better than the majority of those, and I'll show you why, right? So all of those cars, if you own them, your maintenance is going to be very, very high. And if you take it to the racetrack or something like that, then the next day you probably have to take it to get serviced and pay a whole bunch of money because it's going to break. It's going to overheat, it's going to do something, it's going to break. This Camaro SS 1LE, you can take it to the racetrack all week and then go get groceries or do like what I'm doing and, you know, get groceries and stuff, go to Target, and you'll be just fine. Like, so it has the look, it has that same sort of supercar look to it, right? V8 in the front, you got the 6-piston Brembo brakes in the front, awesome wheels, you know, 4-piston Brembo brakes in the back. When you open it up, you have the Alcantara seats, Recaro seats, all right? Alcantara Recaro with the leather on the side, all right? You have the Alcantara steering wheel, you have the Alcantara shift knob, and I'll show you something real quick. This is one of the reasons why I think the Camaro SS, like, just look at it, like, start up, right? So just I'm starting it up. Turn on the AC here. So let me turn off the music. All right, so we're gonna go to the home screen. All right, and let's go. Oh yeah, turn that off. Let's click on PDR. All right, dismiss. So I can, like, you know, just record anything really and then go stop recording and view recording, and it shows you, like, look, this is in front of me there, you know. I can go back and, like, show you, like, you know, so it records your speed that goes to mile per hour, your revs, your G-force, you know. It even lets you know what gear that you're in. Like, you know, it's better than a lot of those cars, because, like, if you compare the Camaro SS 1LE to the Mach 1 right now, or the Scat Pack Challenger wide body, they don't come with a performance data recorder like this, and some of them don't even have the heads-up display. So we have the heads-up display in the Camaro SS 1LE. We have built-in, like, timers to figure out how fast you're going. So I got G's, I got 0 to 60 timer, you know. I can, like, do 0 to 100, I can do a quarter mile, 0 to 100, you know. So, like, it is, like, in my opinion, right, in my opinion, I would say the Camaro SS 1LE is even better than a lot of those sports cars. It has, like, you know, nice simple interior, you know, nice soft touch materials and stitching all the way across. You know, it sounds good, looks good, you know. Like, I'll put in, like, some exhaust clips so you guys can hear the exhaust a little bit. just has like a beautiful look, feel, and sound to it. So it hits all the senses, you know. Plus, it is reliable, you know. It is super reliable. Like, you can beat on it all day and it's just going to keep working. And it's very capable too when you run it on the track. When you run it on the track, you look at most of the track tests, it is right there with a bunch of other supercars, like when you test them around tracks, you know. And that's why I didn't say that just the regular SS or the Camaro SS. I don't want to disrespect, because I know there's no such thing as a regular SS, because the SS is an amazing car in and of itself, you know. But the reason why I went with the track spec versions with the 1LE track package and the ZL1 and the ZL1 1LE is because they're a little bit more track focused, a little bit more track oriented. So, you know, this is literally, to me, one of the best cars that you can get, you know, for the money. And I'll show you a couple other things, right? Like, yeah, let's go under the hood. We have the, you know, the matte black hood to take off the glare from you when you're racing and all that. So that's another plus. It has the hood struts, you know. I mean, it keeps the, you know, so it's easy to lift up the hood. You don't have to worry. Very easily modified, you know. Like for me, I have the air raid air intake. By the way, I feel like this makes my SS1LE a little bit more rare than most, because if you look at every other Camaro person, they have rotofab. I'm one of the few ones with an air raid. So yeah, I you know, shout out to me for that. But you know, if you look even under the hood, it's aesthetically pleasing. Like, it looks nice underneath the hood. It looks nice from most angles. You have the, you know, the functional heat extractors. Like, I really feel like this is what a supercar should be, right? Because if you look at most of the modern supercars right now, they don't come with manual gearboxes. And what do you get with this? And actually, I'll tell you this, what do you get that's going up in value right now if you want to get a Porsche or any of those? The Porsche 911s that have the manual gearbox, those are the ones that are the most valuable. So most of the cars that have manual gearboxes are going to be the ones that people look for the most later on, are the ones that are going to be the most valuable, because it's such a rare thing to have in today's world. You know, most people don't even know how to drive manual gearbox cars. So that's my case for, you know, the large statement that the Camaro SS 1LE and the ZL1 and the ZL1 1LEs should be considered supercars. Because to me and a lot of other people, and the people that own them and drive them, they would agree with me, because they know what this car feels like. There's really very few cars in this price bracket that feels this way. Like, I drove a Porsche 911 turbo not that long ago, and it was fast and it was great, but it also didn't have that guttural sound that the SS and the ZL1s have. That V8 rumble that you know, that wakes up the whole neighborhood when you get on it, like that deep growling sound. So I would say this is even more emotional than those, you know. Now, obviously, the 911 is a better car all around if you're gonna, you know, compare spec for spec. But there are some things that we have in the SS 1LEs and the ZL1s that they don't have. So comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm crazy for saying this, or if you think I'm on to something. Now, obviously, I know a lot of people are going to type and say, oh, it can't be considered a supercar because there's too many of them around. Well, yeah, I get that part. But if you're just going car for car of what a supercar should be and feel like and look like and sound like, then I say yes, it is. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy this. Race Car Friends out.
Just